Welcome back to the rotation. I am your host, Joe. Alongside me is my co-host, Dylan Pelser. And on my other side, Austin Dickey, formerly known as Dickey.
Hello.
Episode 2 is on your way. We're talking about Manfred. We're talking about player reactions around the league. We're talking about an injury, if you want to call it that, to Aaron Judge. Padres are looking to make moves. Our biggest opinions on the biggest acquisitions this offseason and our predictions for this upcoming season.
Yes, sir.
Dylan.
Hello, Joe.
Start me off by telling me on your opinions on Manfred.
Listen, Rob Manfred, he's got himself stuck in this situation by not punishing the Astros. He thought suspending Hinch for a year, suspending Luno for a year, stripping the team of draft picks, finding the team would be enough. But no, not only do the players want that World Series trophy gone, and they've been talking about how it's tainted and they don't deserve it and all this kind of stuff, but the players want the Astros players punished. And not a lot of people came out after it first happened, but after the apology, you might say, but from Jim Crane to start off spring training, it has really set off a nerve with a lot of players. And I mean, look, they've got a complete right to be pissed. I mean, the Astros in the last 3 years have been to the World Series twice, an ALCS berth in 2018, excuse me. And I mean, something should be done to the players. Honestly, will it happen? No, but.
Yeah. It's kind of caused an uproar around the league. Got many players speaking out. Justin Turner, Nick Markakis basically said that they should get beat up. Yeah. That's kind of extreme.
But it just goes to show, I mean, around the league, like a lot of people are saying, oh, well, everybody's stealing signs. I don't think any team was doing to the severity what the Astros are doing. I mean, because the player reaction from every team, if you think the Dodgers and Yankees were doing this stuff and giving this play reaction, Judge going off, Glaber going off, Bellinger going off for the Dodgers, Justin Turner, like.
Yeah. Manfred, he called the Commissioner's Trophy. Commissioner's Trophy. Yeah. A piece of metal. Kind of inferring that it's kind of a joke. Yeah. His own trophy.
Justin Turner called him out for it, too.
People did not take that lightly. That was not.
I mean, as a baseball player, what do you work for? You work for the trophy. That's what you want. You want rings. You want to hang a banner. You want to hoist that trophy. You know?
Justin Turner made it clear. Why are we all showing up in the middle of February, 2 months before, or not 2 months, but a month and a half before the season starts? Well, it's for that commissioner's trophy, the trophy that you devalued, saying we don't need to take the title away, blah, blah. We thought we went. Like, it wouldn't change even if we took the trophy away. Like, an asterisk around the title is okay. But clearly, the players have a different opinion to Rob Manfred.
Yeah. Man, all the players think the Astro players should be suspended.
Well, yeah, they should be suspended, but Tony Clark will not allow that. I'm going to say this, but people are not going to believe me on this, but backlash from a person like Roger Goodell won't let that happen, because they said that other leagues it's just going to have backlash from other leagues because you just don't suspend a whole team. I forgot who reported that out, but they said it would not be good from other leagues, Adam Silver. But speaking of those guys, they do it right. Rob Manfred is a joke.
Yeah, I mean, look, when Rob Manfred decides not to punish the players, you know he's going to get backlash for it. So,
yeah, how do you think the MLBPA feels like now? Because you got 40 guys in the Astros you're defending, but then the other
29 teams want to pluck them.
1,000 players in the MLB want to pluck them, want to have them be suspended. So it's kind of like, they're just stuck in the middle there. Almost have a little bit of sympathy for them.
Well, I was listening to the Great Rich Eisen podcast. It's not really a podcast, but he has a TV show. I was watching that yesterday. And he had Jeff Passan from
ESPN.
Valentine.
My very good friend, Jeff Passan. He was talking about they are basically punished right now, how they are getting wrecked over social media. And
yeah, I mean, their legacies are already tarnished and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
I don't know if can Jose Altuve make it to the Hall of Fame? at this point?
That's something that's is going to be a conversation.
Look, he's
Yeah,
still
15
young
years
enough.
from now.
I mean, he's young enough.
Yeah, I thought he was like plus 30s. I thought he was old.
He's upper 20s.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, there's got to be some solution. So the players want the other players to be punished. So let's think of ideas. Like if Rob Manfred were to cave in.
Oh, the only way is strip the title now. Only way. Because that's not punishing the player. Yeah, it kind of is, but that's I mean, like, if he did that.
Well, it is punishing the players because they're all coming out in the Astros organization and saying they still owned it.
Some flat fashion. I mean, firing A.J. Hinch, that hurts the players. They love A.J. Hinch.
Yeah, I mean, they got Dusty Baker, though. Dickie, go ahead.
So, Passan also said that if you strip that title, you will strip Barry Bonds of his home run record.
I mean, yeah.
You may as well strip Pete Rose of, I believe he still holds the hits record.
Pete Rose didn't cheat, though.
That's true.
He didn't cheat well.
I guess that's true. Any wins that he won under
Roger
manager,
Maris
take those away.
Those are
I don't know.
meaningless to Pete Rose.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, you would have to take away Barry Bonds' home run record, all those home runs. You'd take that title away. They wouldn't take that would open up the possibility if they found anything with the Red Sox investigation, which we were talking earlier, and we don't think it will. Speaking of that Red Sox investigation, Joe Girardi a few hours earlier went on MLB Network and basically admitted the Yankees did the same thing the Red Sox did.
Yeah, I mean,
gamesmanship, baby.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they'll be punished. It may open them up to investigation, but they won't be punished. He literally explained, and this is quote to quote, he said, "We got it from upstairs, we brought it to the dugout, and we took it to second base." And that's literally what the Red Sox did.
Getting these signs from a runner on second base is totally different than having a monitor stealing signs in live time and then taking a bat to a trash can to where the hitter knows on that pitch what that pitch is going to be.
That's just gamesmanship. Your players are the ones finding out the signs. You're not using technology for any of that standing on second base.
Well, yeah, you are. But, I mean, you're using technology. That's what makes it illegal. But
I mean, but you're
not translating it through a trash can.
Or buzzers.
Yeah, buzzers are definitely real.
And let's be honest, a majority of the other teams in the league probably do the same thing.
Yeah, but who cares if the Orioles are cheating? I mean, they're not doing it.
They're obviously not cheating.
But, I mean, for the Red Sox, look, they had to pounce on Cora. I mean, the reaction, once Lunho and Hinch got suspended for a year, all this stuff was coming about Cora's punishment's going to be even worse. I mean, the Red Sox had to pounce on it and fire him and just move on completely. Looking back at it, maybe they could have kept Cora, maybe not. I mean, Renick's going to be fine for them. But overall, that's the only damage that will come to the Red Sox this offseason. Will maybe be a slap on the wrist fine.
Yeah, I think they'll do something like the Apple Watches, like for the Yankees and Red Sox, and just undisclose it. They won't come out and say it.
I don't think Brian Cashman's getting fired anytime soon.
I mean, okay, so you guys are saying, I'll propose this idea. You're saying the only way now is to strip the trophy away, right? No punishment.
I'm not saying that for my own personal belief. I'm just saying in the general eye of the public, that's what it's going to take is something.
What if you did this? Okay.
Houston Astros.
Ban them from postseason play for 2020.
That's a legitimate proposal, I think.
The champions.
That's what they did to like Ohio State,
Man City, Penn State.
Yeah, it's 2 years they're not allowed to play in the league.
And then remember Ohio State when they got banned from playing in a bowl game.
Yeah, they were undefeated that year,
Yeah.
and they were.
That's fine. I mean, it doesn't. Players can still contribute to their overall career lines, their legacies. They can add to their numbers. They can do all that. They can still play. They can get paid. But you just can't participate in the postseason.
And they can still go out and try to kick ass too and prove a point.
You stole a postseason opportunity away from three different teams, and I mean that's basically what they're doing for 1 year is just take away that postseason opportunity.
Well, here's what it would do if they give them a 2-year postseason ban. Think about it. George Springer is a free agent next year. Do you think he wants to sit out a postseason for 2 straight years? And
what do you mean 2 straight years?
Well, if they wouldn't do it this year.
Wow.
they've already come up with their thing. I don't think they would do it this year. Everybody's prepared. They're ready to go.
I don't think anybody's.
If they find more things, if buzzers come out, if John Boy does his work, if he comes out and does his work, and they find more with buzzers, that was mostly used this past postseason, but they could definitely ban them from postseason play for the next 2 years. After that, I don't know when did Verlander sign an extension or?
Yeah, he did. I don't.
Okay. Imagine.
But George Springer would go to the Red Sox. That's all I'm saying.
Imagine. That's biased, ladies.
Not if you're picking up Will Myers.
Yeah, facts. Imagine being like a player. I mean, Garrett Cole actually relates to this as well. But I think Verlander's like the perfect guy to like think of this. Justin Verlander was traded right before midnight, August 31st, last day of the waiver trade deadline, right? He walks right in to that Astros organization, and they're already in the mix of doing this trash can thing every day. If you're Verlander, you can't just step in and do anything about it. I mean, you just got traded there to win a World Series. I mean, that has to be a tough position for him.
Yeah.
He wasn't obviously using it, though, unless there's a few, unless they played some interleague and they're on the road, and they said they came out that it was
Justin Verlander listening to a trash can ban is the least of his concerns.
We got to look up his stats or something to see if he got a hit in that World Series.
I'm sure he probably just tried to lay down a ball and then tipped it twice and then started to go by like every pitcher does. Except for Madison Bumgarner and Greinke.
Okay, let me propose this idea to you guys.
Let's hear it.
Okay, main top players for the Astros: Altuve, Bregman, Correa, Springer. Let's throw in Gurriel into that mix as well.
Reddick?
I mean Brantley. We'll throw in Brantley too. Okay. I mean Brantley probably won't get punished because there's technically no evidence from 2019. We're talking strictly 2017, but that's still
and 18.
Okay, 18 too. So that's still 5 players, right? Altuve, Bregman, Gurriel, Springer, and Correa, right? Well, here's an idea how they could get punished and how the Astros could maybe be more okay with it and maybe not file a grievance. You suspend each player for a month. However, not at the same time. Hypothetically speaking, Altuve is suspended for April. Comes back. Bregman suspended for May. Correa suspended for June. Springer suspended for July. Gurriel suspended for August. All of them back together in September, barring injury.
Do you do that same thing for like Jake Marisnick or Marlon Gonzalez?
No, but you go after the head.
I mean, they did it too.
You go after the head. You can't go after everybody. We've been through this.
You know that's going to cause an uproar because you're not just going to suspend 5 of them, especially when you have guys like.
There's already an uproar. That's why Manfred's stuck. There's no silver lining. There's no solution that can make everybody happy.
The Players Association is going to come back and say, okay, if you're going to suspend these 5, then you got to suspend Marisnick, Gonzalez, and all those guys. I mean, you're not going to get away with just suspending a couple.
I just want to say, Marisnick and Gonzalez, the 2 players you named, they are the 2 people that I've seen apologize.
Okay, so
they've come out and they didn't. Hey, they could be granted immunity. They came out public and said it. Well, if they go to this route.
Well, they were granted immunity, but their legacies are tarnished. The reputation.
The thing is,
that's not complete immunity.
The thing is, if they lied about it, then Manfred can go back on that. And from what I'm seeing on Twitter, Carlos Correa certainly lied.
Oh,
certainly.
What are you talking about?
His Ken Rosenthal interview was just.
That was crazy.
Oh my God, I could not.
That made for some funny videos.
Him versus Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger's completely right.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Altuve's tattoo. He didn't want his jersey ripped off because of his unfinished tattoo, and he would have been so embarrassed. You know what, guys? Jose Altuve would have been so embarrassed if fans saw that tattoo that when he walked into the clubhouse after the game-winning home run, instead of thinking about, oh my God, I just hit a home run to send my team to the World Series, he's going to be thinking, I can't believe people just saw the tattoo. I'm so embarrassed for me and my wife.
You know, here's the thing: I've seen plenty of videos where Altuve hit a walk-off in like 2015 or something like that, where he didn't want his shirt ripped off. I can get that. You don't want your shirt ripped off. You don't want your shirt ripped off. Okay, that's fine. The only thing I don't like about that is I know better. A name tattoo of your daughter's name it gets finished in one sitting. It doesn't take multiple hours to do that. It probably takes at most an hour to do that tattoo. At most. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I get it. You don't want your shirt ripped up. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's not a bad excuse, but Correa's whole thing about the tattoo, I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Sorry about it.
So what happens?
What do you mean?
If opening day, who do the Astros play opening day?
I believe they play the Angels.
Okay.
And
Shohei.
Shohei wouldn't start.
First game back from Tommy John beans him in the head.
He'll probably be Shohei.
No, he'd be like the second. He's pitching.
Oh no, just talking about like longevity wise.
Yeah, he'll pitch.
I think who's in that rotation.
It's a bunch of
Dylan Bundy.
Oh yeah,
Dylan Bundy would maybe start there. And
okay, let's hypothetically say Dylan Bundy starts opening day, throws at an Astro player, right? Starts this off. How do you punt? How do you settle that?
They'll punish him. They already said they're.
I mean, yeah, I
know.
know. I know, but I mean, there's gonna be a lot of backlash from everybody still. Like, well, they cheated and blah blah. We're gonna keep throwing at them.
Well, you're not gonna make anybody happy.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line. I mean, to be completely honest and unbiased, hitting them with the pitch, that's probably a little extreme. At the same time, I don't think it would have happened if you would have actually like punished them. But I mean, throwing at him is a little extreme. I mean, that could end a career. Yeah.
You're not throwing it at the head. That's just
beat him on the butt.
Unwritten rule. Do not throw at
Oh
the head.
yeah.
Still hurts. 99. That hurts.
Well, Dylan Bundy doesn't throw 99, so that should be good.
Yeah. Well, there's gonna be. Who do you think that one team's gonna be that just doesn't care?
Well, no, but there's just gonna be that random. There's gonna be. This is what's gonna happen, guys. Astros are gonna be playing a team for the first time in June, right? They hadn't seen them all year. Nobody's gonna be hitting an Astros player for 2 to 3 weeks, right? Maybe even a month or two by then, right? And this is going to be the middle of the game, and all of a sudden, boom! Somebody's going to get glocked on purpose. It's going to be clear intent.
It's going to be someone like the Pirates. I could see the Pirates. I don't know if they play. I don't even know if they play. They probably don't in the interleague. I doubt they do. But I could just see a team like them just like taking it upon themselves and just starting a full-out brawl. I could see someone like the Reds. No, not the Reds. Maybe last year's Reds.
Oh, with
Garrett and Puig. Yeah. I mean, those two are like a dynamic duo. They still got Garrett, so maybe he'll hit somebody.
Garrett's brawl, ironically, was against the Pirates.
I could see the White Sox doing something. I don't know why the White Sox pop into my head. Probably because of Tim Anderson. He just strikes me as a guy that's going to want to start some beef.
Unfortunately, boys, the Reds and the Astros do not play this year.
They don't. How about the Pirates? Do the Buccos play them?
Well,
no, that's the same division. But if you remember who got traded to the Reds last year,
TB
Trevor Bauer, he would be out for trying to throw. I mean, he's more.
Trevor Bauer's going to get fined for like bullying Manfred or something like that.
Well, no, he can't because
so many other players. That's going to be something that you're going to see. It's just going to be like, okay.
Like they do in the NBA for criticizing officials and all that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, I have a message for Josh Reddick too. You guys ain't going to come out and prove everybody wrong, bro. I'll say that.
Everyone's sleeping on the Astros. Don't sleep on the Astros. Great team.
I'm sleeping.
Talented team.
Talented team that just lost Garrett Cole to the Yankees.
Yeah, they also got McCullers back, though. You got to remember that. Lance McCullers.
Who?
Okay. 24 straight curveballs, McCullers.
I mean, I know, but I'm just trying to prove a point that he ain't going to –
He's being
he's
being
Lance
sarcastic. McCullers. Yeah, he's good. Good player.
Okay.
Good pitcher. Okay. I'm just saying, like, the Astros are still a really good team.
I'll take
Same hitters.
I'll take J-Hap over Lance McCullers.
J-Hap? I take Martin Perez over J-Hap.
Okay. No, that's a stretch. Oh, my God.
But, guys, none of this player – okay, part of the reason there's so much player uproar is because they didn't get punished. Here's the other half. Jim Crane. I mean – well, are you okay, Joe?
J-Hap. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, give me J-Hap over Lance McCullers.
Come on.
No, I want – maybe that's just me not liking the Astros at the moment, and me still reminiscing over the 24 straight curveballs in Game 7, but –
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be Yankees Astros ALCS. I'm honestly willing to
think
bet
so?
my life on it. I'm willing to,
Okay.
put the house on it.
Let's make that bet.
Okay, yeah. You want to?
Yeah.
I bet you 25 right now that
They play in the best division in the American League, the AL West, and there's a team in the AL Central that's knocking on the door.
Okay, you know what? Here's how it's going to work out. The Twins are going to somehow find themselves playing the Yankees, and then they're going to get knocked out. Next thing you know, you're going to have the Astros versus the Oakland A's or the Tampa Bay Rays again.
Hey,
Did I just mix that up?
what about the Red Sox?
Oh my God!
Okay, so but you guys know what I'm talking about with Jim Crane, though, right? Like him giving that bogus apology, saying we don't think it felt like it had anything to impact on the game. And 55 seconds later, I never said it didn't have any impact on the game. That literally triggered everybody, and that's what started this uproar. Once again.
Yeah, no. As a
Jim Crane should get punished. He can still get punished if he's not owning responsibility.
Okay. Here's the thing. As a current ball player, I can attest to this. Saying that stealing signs live and telling me that doesn't apply to the game, it doesn't impact the game, that's just a lie.
It's immature.
I've never known. As a hitter, I've never known what pitch was coming. And if I did know what pitch was coming, my life would have been a lot easier. Let me tell you that.
Giancarlo Stanton would have hit 80 home runs.
Giancarlo Stanton would have hit 80 home. I'm willing to put a bet on that.
Mike Trout would already be better than Babe Ruth and making more than all these boys.
Mike, can you imagine if Mike Trout knew what pitches were coming? I mean, oh my God.
Yeah. Look, I thought Crane was just very ridiculous in his comments, honestly. Just own up to it. You're not going to get a pass. Nobody's giving you a pass anymore, so.
Yeah.
I found it very childish.
Yeah.
Moving on, though, there's a minor injury in spring training so far to date, and it involves a team that had a lot of injury last year. That is the New York Yankees. And Joe, we are both Yankee fans, unbiased Yankee fans, but we would still like to talk about this for a second. So, minor shoulder injury.
It's nothing. He'll be hitting by Saturday.
It's nothing, but as a Yankee fan, so many injuries last year. I mean, Paxton's already on the shelf till June. Herman's suspended. I mean, I don't want a repeat of last year with the AAA Yankees running through June and July. So
yeah, no, not concerned. He his videos of him. He was doing a little light throwing, little fielding drills. I mean, I would be
right shoulder, I believe.
I would be more concerned if he wasn't throwing. If he was just hitting and he wasn't throwing, I would have been like, okay, maybe this is serious. But he's throwing. It's harder on your shoulder to throw than it is to hit. I'm just saying. Maybe like when he swings the bat, it hurts that more than it does throwing. I don't know. Okay, I'm not Aaron Judge. I'm also not the trainer. Thank God.
Oh, they fired all of them after the season. You have a new whole training staff.
Yeah, Donahue's gone.
Yeah, no, we have Eric Cressy looking over all of our stuff. Big name in the athletic training. Just saying. Awesome. Does a lot of stuff. Works with a lot of guys.
Chris Sale last year had a minor shoulder and elbow.
Okay. Well, he also uses that
pitcher,
shoulder every time he makes
something minor can always turn to something bigger. Nathan Ovaldi, for example.
Another pitcher.
Look, injuries mounted the Yankees last year, and truth be told, because of all the injuries, it's why they didn't get the number 1 seed, which is why they didn't get home field. They want home field this year, right? They haven't had it in 2017. They were the wild card due to the Red Sox insane year in 2018. Dominance, okay. And then last year, they were the 2 seed because the Astros won 2 more games than them in the regular season. This team wants to stay healthy because if this team stays healthy, I feel like they might have home field advantage by at least 6 to 10 games over Minnesota or Houston.
Oh.
At least.
I'd give it.
They're winning over 100 games. They're winning over 100 games. You can't tell me that another AL team is winning over 100 games.
I think the Twins will dominate their division.
Twins are
their division's better, though.
The Twins will win 98 games. That's my take now. Astros, I put them at 102. 102
come
wins.
on, the Twins is a 2nd seed. I mean, I don't think the
Astros are better than the Twins.
I don't think the Astros are in the right state
I don't
to play
no.
good.
Look, the Twins were missing veteran pitching.
They just don't have.
And they got 2
good pitching. I like Houston's pitching a lot more. I might even go as far and say I like Houston's hitting more.
Dylan, what were their pitchers that they got?
They got Richland and Tomato. That is a very big improvement from last time.
They have Barrios.
Yeah, they saw Kyle Gibson and Odorizzi.
Odorizzi.
Oh, come on. Odorizzi is really good.
Pines Harpenadas on the pine.
Is he suspended the entire year, or will he be back?
I believe he is half. He is
So,
up.
yeah, they have guys.
It's
Half
not
a season.
Verlander. It's not Greinke. It's not McCullers. That's just
Wait, hold
Look,
on.
and they can put all their investments into
Who's McCullers?
the facts. They can put all their stock into getting a reliever at the deadline. That's honestly the only
They have a
concern.
fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Josh Donaldson. Big hitter acquisition.
I mean that lineup.
Take
What
Miguel
balls are we going to
Sano.
use? That's going to be big.
Okay, how would you rank these lineups between the Yankees, Twins, and Astros? I'd go 1 Yankees.
2 Astros. I like the Astros. I really do. I love
See,
the
this
Astros.
cheating
I
thing's bothering me.
We'll
Yeah,
get to
I
our
know.
predictions in a few
I
episodes,
know
Dylan.
it
You
does,
can
but
hold
you
on.
forget-
You forget about
They're a
the
good team.
cheating. Then yeah,
That's
Astros
why it's so
too.
bad that they did it. It's
Can we
'cause
all
they're
agree the
already a
Yankees
good
have the
team.
best lineup out of the 3?
Yes,
Yeah,
as a
I
Red
like
Sox fan and unbiased National Baseball fan.
Do they have the best? Do they have the best lineup in the MLB?
They have a better lineup.
Do they?
I think
What hurts the Dodgers is
It
that
really
pitcher spot.
depends.
If you factor in a DH, I might give the edge to the Dodgers.
It really depends on your production
Depends
out
on
of
the health.
Andujar this year. Do you get the same production
Gio.
out of Gio Urshela?
Topman.
Tauchman's a guarantee. Tauchman's the guy.
So is Gio.
Does
Those guys
Brett
are
Gardner
freaks.
have an impact on your team? There's just so much we can
Well,
talk
it
about.
depends. It
I mean,
depends
even
if
if
you
Brett
go
Gardner doesn't have an impact on the team, there's guys like Clint
He's
Frazier.
your speed guy at this point.
with- He's the best.
We're not looking to steal.
Can you
bases,
tell me
bro.
who the fastest guy in the Yankees is?
Brett Gardner.
No, second fastest.
Clint Frazier.
I think it's
Aaron
Tyler
Judge.
Wade.
It's Aaron Judge.
Well, it's Tyler Wade, then it's Aaron Judge.
Who's Tyler Wade?
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a platoon player, most handsome man in baseball.
I only
Look this guy up. He's
I only
handsome.
know one former Yankee, and that is Tyler Austin, because he got beat.
'Cause he beat up Joe
No,
Kelly.
he did not.
Yeah, he did.
All right, moving on. News that came out about an hour or so ago. The Padres are looking to make moves. Might want Francisco Lindor trying to move off that Will Myers contract. The Red Sox might be a player for that.
Wow, I don't get that.
Um,
Just for trivia. Sorry to interrupt. Trivia. Can you guys tell me what? I know I told you, Dylan. Can you tell me what Will Myers' WAR was?
last year.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Keep in mind the contract you'd be absorbing.
I'm gonna guess less than 2.
Try less than 0.
He had a negative WAR.
Negative 0.3, I think it was.
And you want it? So you just traded off Mookie Betts because of the contract, and now you're
But they're gonna get Will Myers.
and grabbing Will Myers.
So the Red Sox, they
that makes no sense.
Will
will
Myers,
take.
right that. You know what I
You just
mean?
got Pilar. Why do you
He's
need
so
another guy?
good.
So they are rumored to take on that contract, but give a lesser return to the Padres, but also take a few, 1 to 2, young prospect pitchers. Quantrill, I believe, is his last name, but they'll take on that contract.
If only there was a
And
pitcher you could get.
We would send Jackie Bradley Jr. and somebody else.
Jackie.
Then it kind of makes sense. But if Will Myers is a free agent at the end of the
ALCS.
year, that makes more sense because you don't have to obviously retain him after 1 year.
Wasn't he the ALCS MVP?
Yes, because he had, I still remember this, 9 RBIs in 2 out situations.
And that just shows how lucky the 2018 Red Sox.
Okay.
They're a great team.
Look, but if the Indians get Lindor, where's the fit guys?
I've seen Tatis. He's been doing drills in the outfield.
What?
Really, you haven't seen that?
No?
Maybe I just follow Padres Twitter, but I've seen where he's been doing drills in the outfield.
Drills in the
I mean, granted
think,
that he's a
Is
great.
Ian Kinsler still at second base?
I know
No,
he's
they have
actually
Profar,
yeah.
Jurickson Profar.
That's the utility.
You
guy.
move Lindor to
He's gonna be
second
playing
base.
second.
No, Lindor is
not a second base.
Lindor is one of the flashiest shortstops. You keep Machado at third. If you really want Lindor, then you have to move Tatis to the outfield.
Where do they put him though? They have Tommy Pham. They keep.
I mean, right now, who's playing center for that? Center or right is going to be Trent Grissom.
Yeah, Brewers guy.
Well,
Toss him a game.
they moved Margot
Maybe
to
rings
the Rays, and I officially love our trade.
You know who
sending
they
Margot
have?
away.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. They got him. He's that outfield prospect. They got him in the trade that sent Bauer to the Reds.
Oh,
Taylor Trammell, I think his name
Yeah,
is.
this is his name.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's gonna be good. I've heard. I don't know if he'll be up this year, but
So yeah, I mean, look, if you can get Lindor for the right price, number one, you're going to give up prospects that are not going to be like that detrimental to your farm system in terms of losing them, then yeah, you just you get the best players possible, and if you can get Francisco Lindor, that can propel you to a wild card. You make it work. I mean,
So I just remembered this, and I don't know how I just remembered it. They probably want to offload some of that money because they are the early front runners for Mookie Betts.
Look.
And I would not want to take on that contract because we are probably the third team right now to get him. The Dodgers and the Padres would be ahead of us. So
look, I'm thinking
Dodgers on this team that's still under luxury tax. That's crazy.
They're over.
They are very much over.
No, they're like right around it.
They're over.
No, they're like right around it.
Joe, we can debate this all you
want. Will
want.
Smith, Gavin Lux, Muncy's still on a. They gave him an extension. He's on making like $12 million a year, or something like that. I don't remember. But I mean, I'm trying to think of who's making big bucks.
Kershaw, Price,
I
Jansen.
don't know about Jansen. AJ Pollock. Didn't he sign him for like $65 million?
Yeah, he's an underrated guy in that lineup. He was injured most of last year. That is actually, I think AJ Pollock's going to be really good this year for the Dodgers.
He was horrible in the playoffs.
And are you just going to base it off of that?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. They're right around it, I swear.
Well, here's the deal. How are they going to sign Mookie Betts and then a few years later sign Cody Bellinger? He probably wants to stay there, so he might sign an extension. So they were at 206
They were at 206 in 2019.
This year, you're going to have to go to Baseball Reference.
Yeah, see here on this particular website that I have up, it says the Dodgers are at $208 million on their 2020 payroll. So they're right around it. They are. I mean, that's impressive.
Have you seen the Yankees payroll, though? That is.
It depends. You want to look at it before or after the tax penalty.
It's high.
If you get rid of it,
here's the thing. Baseball, there's no salary cap. I can spend as much money as I want.
The penalties kind of suck if you have it for like 2 years. But Hap comes off the books. Paxton's off the books. Tanaka's off the books. A certain man named Jacoby Ellsbury's off the books.
I thought you didn't say his
name. I typically don't, but for the sake of the podcast, I will.
Greg Bird?
He's currently employed by the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, but Panda's employed by the Giants, and we're still paying him.
The Yankees.
Taylor Ramirez is in Mexico, and he's still. We're still paying him.
New York is not a big fan of paying people to play for other teams, or paying people to play in the minor leagues, like a certain rival of ours. So that's not really our cup of tea. Let's just put it that way.
Rusney Castillo should be up. He should be up. He deserves
AAA.
He is the mayor of Pawtucket.
Mayor of Pawtucket.
They have a statue.
Oh my God! I feel like Pawtucket's like a beer and like Family Guy. Is that what it is? I
believe it is.
That's crazy.
I believe it is.
It's kind of funny.
Hey, real quick on the Padres though. I believe if they get Lindor, I don't think they're necessarily playoff contenders yet. I mean, they'll be around the mix for the second wild card. Wait, real quick. 100%. I think Lindor, like you add Lindor, that definitely gets you into the playoff conversation. And anytime you have a chance to get one of the best players in baseball, look, you have to move off prospects at some time. You can't utilize all of them, right? And especially players that are in your single A organization. If you're trying to win now, like the Padres are in the next couple of years, those guys ain't going to make a difference at all. Trade them for a guy like Lindor and have three of the best infielders in terms of defense and offensive production in the game. Machado, Tatis, and Lindor, that's literally dirty at the top of the lineup.
And then you add another infielder that Joe absolutely loves, Eric Hosmer, his favorite player.
My favorite player. Oh my God!
Look, we just talked about their young outfielders. That would literally complete their lineup. They would have a top 10. Yeah, they would have a top 10 lineup in baseball if they get Lindor.
You think Tommy Pham leads off?
He could.
Or does Profar switch hitter?
No, you guys are.
Profar sucks.
Profar should be the 8-hole.
The leadoff guy is going to be Fernando Tatis.
You don't think you put him in the 2-hole?
Didn't he lead off last year?
I don't believe so.
I believe he was in the 4-hole last year.
Hosmer at the 5, Machado 3, Lindor 4, something like that.
Machado
Well, if they get
usually gets
Lindor,
second.
Lindor should lead off. Honestly.
Yeah, because he leads off for the Indians
Yeah.
most of the time.
But I think the Padres, they should definitely jump on that move and get Lindor. Fan base would love it too.
Yeah, they have one of the most
have the
amazing
prospects,
ballparks in the
Beautiful
MLB.
ballpark.
I've always wanted to go there. They just have a great environment, and I think they could do really big things. They're probably my favorite NL team. I love the Brewers, especially
Big
more
Browns
now
fan.
with the acquisition of our beloved Brock Holt.
I can't believe he almost broke the record, Maris's record for home runs. Can you believe that? It's
Who,
crazy.
Brock Holt?
Yeah, he's in. You didn't watch that Carabas, and then they were covering that home run chase. You didn't see that? Man, that's crazy.
All right. Hey, we're going to move on to our next topic. Throwing out Garrett Cole, throwing out Mookie Betts, hell, throwing out Anthony Rendon. What do you guys think were the biggest moves of the offseason that are going to help teams propel themselves to a possible World Series, or should I say, Commissioner's Trophy championship?
You mean a piece of metal, Dylan?
That's what I meant, actually. Sorry.
What do you think there, Dickie?
You can go first, Dick.
The biggest acquisition. For the NL, underrated. I would have to go a little bit old, but Cole Hamels to the Braves. I think that he really adds something to that rotation. You don't really have much there except Fulte.
Soroka.
Soroka's been pretty good. He lost. Fried, he's all right. You have a lot of lefties
They got a
except
couple
Fulte.
prospects.
So, yeah, he's an underrated acquisition there.
Look, I just took that as them replacing Dallas Keuchel with a guy that's not as good as Dallas Keuchel.
That's very true. For the AL, you said, again, underrated. It's not the best, but a very good pitcher from the NL last year going to the Blue Jays, Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Oh.
I think
Oh.
he put some competition there in the. I think that puts some good competition in the AL East. Doesn't propel the Blue Jays anywhere. That would take a few years with their prospects still coming up, Bichette, Guerrero. So, yeah, Joe, what do you think?
I'm going to start out my AL. This one's kind of an obvious one, but I'm going to go with the bringer of rain to the Minnesota Twins. I like that. I think it really rounds out their lineup. They had a really good piece at the hot corner, too. Team that just broke the home run record by one home run. Josh Donaldson. Big pop in that bat. Like it. My NL. You ready?
Yeah.
Dylan Betances to the New York Mets.
That's not
I
a bad
love
thing.
that. I don't love it because, obviously I want him on my team like he was, but for a Mets team that has a pretty good rotation, pretty good lineup, lacked a lot in the bullpen last year. Diaz had a bad year. They had Familia, who was good in years past, not the best this year. But Betances signed a one-year deal. He's trying to prove himself. That's always dangerous in an athlete when they want that one-year deal.
All right, guys. I'll start off with my NL. I was thinking Nick Castellanos with the Reds, but the Reds made a lot of moves, and I love the Reds this year. But I'm going to go with Zach Wheeler to the Phillies. Number one, you steal him from a division rival. Sure, the Mets got Porcello and Walker, but they're not as good as Wheeler. You got one of their top guys, right, that they really liked. Now he's your number 3 starter. Now Nola, Arrieta, and Wheeler at the top of the rotation. Look, it lengthens it, and it looks pretty good. They obviously have the pieces in the lineup. They were clearly bullpen was obviously a mess with Neris, but an even bigger issue for the Phillies last year was starting pitching. And anytime you can get one of the best free agents on the market, I think Wheeler, I think it was a really good acquisition for the Phillies. I think that's a team, especially with Girardi coming in, that should be a team that makes a jump this year, possibly.
Well, and they had a lot of injuries last year, McCutcheon.
Yeah. And then in the AL, I'm going to go, it's really tough. We already mentioned Keuchel. I'll go with a different guy on the White Sox. Nomar Mazara
Oh,
big home run boy.
oh.
I think I've been a big fan of Nomar Mazara. I
A
think,
lot of potential.
yeah, I think look, that White Sox lineup continues to get better. He's probably going to be batting cleanup next year for them. I'm expecting a career year for Mazara on the White Sox. So, what we wanted underrated guys. I think Mazara is that guy.
Yeah.
You like that?
I like it.
I like
A lot of
Mazara.
potential there. A lot
Those
of potential. Lefty bat.
470-foot slaps
Not
that he
quite as
had.
good as a little Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo was broken last year in MLB The Show. I just want to mention that.
All right.
Predictions.
We're going to wrap this podcast up, ladies and gentlemen, with our predictions. Now, we're not talking about division winners, and we're not talking about, like, who's going to finish where, who's going to the ALCS, who's going to the World Series, stuff like that. We're talking strictly 3 different awards. We're going to talk about MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Cy Young.
Yeah.
Joe, you go first with all 3.
All right, I'm going to start with my AL Rookie of the Year. And that's going to go to Luis Roberts from the Chicago White Sox. Yeah.
Joe, we had
Big
the same
potential.
person. He
Big-
hit 328, 376, and 624 in 122 games at all 3 levels.
Yep.
I think he has great potential.
Yep, 5-tool
And
guy.
he will add to that
Center fielder.
great offensive
Great
power.
player. I think he's ranked 4th.
Number 1 in that. Yeah.
He's their best prospect, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking 4th in the whole MLB.
You had Kopech to
Kopech.
Kopech, I don't know, former Red Sox. You add that, and the White Sox are looking really good, and then you have Eloy Jimenez. Hopefully, he can improve on a decent year. Then Yohan Moncada, if he can stop striking out, will be a pretty good option for them as well. A lot of power on that team, and you just mentioned Nomar Mazara. But we had the same guy. Dylan, who do you have for your Rookie of the Year?
Well, my guy actually played last year, but he's still eligible for Rookie of the Year this year. Had to look that up just to make sure. He's the white Shohei Ohtani.
He's still eligible?
He is still eligible. He hits. He
Wasn't
pitches. He plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. His name is Brendan McKay. And he is
Oh, you had me fooled there for a second. I thought you were talking about Shohei Ohtani. The white Shohei Ohtani.
Brendan McKay.
I like
He's in a tough division.
He was a great fantasy baseball player there for a few games, and then I think
set him down.
somebody dropped him.
Yeah. All right. We're going to pivot. NL Rookie of the Year. I have Gavin Lux. I mean, I feel like that's a popular pick.
Joe, are we choosing the same
I feel like
people?
that's a popular pick.
I
Gavin
didn't.
Lux, great player.
You
Great
didn't?
Nope.
Who do you have?
Plays for the Colorado Rockies.
Oh,
He's their top prospect. He's one of the top prospects in baseball. He also was in the big leagues for a little bit of time last year, but he's eligible.
Oh.
His name's Brendan Rodgers. Another Brendan.
Oh. 2 Brendan for one same award, different leagues.
I just think there's just so much on Gavin Lux to win it that no matter how good this Brendan Rodgers guy does,
He said
You know how
he's the Rockies' top prospect. He's
You
the
know-
top 20 prospect in baseball. He's right there.
you know what works in Gavin Lux's favor though, and I know he's got. I mean,
a lot of
we're
people
talking
on base.
Courtfield.
Yeah.
But what Gavin Lux has in his comfort is a lineup that surrounds him to where they don't necessarily have to pitch to him.
Yeah. Andujar Gleyber Torres, 2018.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
Look
I
at
know.
how good. I mean, when you're in a lineup of the Dodgers caliber, you're gonna see more pitches because they're just not gonna walk you. They're not gonna purposely put Gavin.
they're not
Lux
gonna
on.
Guys, I
That's gonna
completely,
be the guy they pitch to.
I 100% agree, or not agree, but understand where you guys are coming from. But you guys should know me right now. I ain't
Oh,
going
yeah.
to chalk. I ain't going to agree with
I love
you
it.
guys.
I
I'm going
love
off
the
script.
pick. I love the pick. I got some hot takes coming up for one of my MVPs, one of my Cy Youngs. Yeah, I got some hotties.
Okay.
Yeah. Pivot. Want to do Cy Young? AL Cy Young. This is a popular pick. Not much of a hot take here. Coltrane. Woo, woo. Hop on, baby. Let's go. Easy pick. Should have been the Cy Young last year. $324 million man. Yeah, no. Not when you're paying for a Cy Young that's going to win like 3 rings. But Garrett Cole, my pick. Led the league in strikeouts. Led the AL in ERA. Easy pick. Easy pick. Come on. I was going to go, you know who I was going to go with? Mike Clevenger. But this
But
injury,
he's hurt, yeah.
that
So-
made me pivot
That's
to
a really
Garrett Cole.
low key. I mean, Shane Bieber. Maybe.
So,
We know somebody that loves Shandy.
I did not go Garrett Cole, and that's not because I dislike the Yankees. I like the Yankees because I'm an unbiased National Baseball fan. I went with another White Sox, Lucas Giolito.
Okay.
I
hot.
love Lucas
Oh
Giolito.
yeah, I did too. He was on my fantasy.
He
You know
was
what happened?
gonna be the Cy Young, and then just things kind of fell apart. I think he has a great year.
It's a good pick.
We got
And-
Cold and Verlander. That's what happened. And Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
I think he wins it all. I think he wins the
I like it.
AL Cy Young.
I would, think about it. You go 2018, highest ERA among qualifying pitchers. 2019, Cy Young caliber, maybe kind of season all-star. 2020, Cy Young. Talk about a comeback. What do you got?
My
Are you,
AL Cy
are you
Young.
chugging? Are you chugga-choo-choo?
First name rhymes with parrot,
Oh,
and his last name rhymes with pole.
oh, chugga-chugga-choo-choo, baby. He's hopping on the Cole train.
That look, there is that some Yankee bias, maybe, but it also is Garrett Cole. So let's
It's not.
Let's get some
He's
slack.
the best pitcher in the AL.
yeah, okay, baseball,
Second,
not the AL.
no, Jacob DeGrom.
Okay, debatable. We're not debating that right now though. So let's move on to our NL Cy Young.
Yeah. You might know him. You might have heard of him. Certain friend of ours, huge fan. I'm going with the Redbirds. Jack Flaherty
Okay.
was the best pitcher in the NL in the second half of the season. You could argue Jacob DeGrom, but that stretch that Flaherty went on was historic. I mean, he had an ERA hovering around 1. We're talking about a Cy Young caliber pitcher, Cy Young caliber stuff. That's my pick for your 2020 NL Cy Young. Jack Flaherty.
So as I did for the AL, I have a pair of teammates for the NL. A Dodger,
Oh,
Walker Buehler.
yup.
That's
I
mine,
think-
Dickie.
Walker, Texas
mine.
Rangers.
That's yours.
Yep.
I like
Well,
it. I
I
love a big
think-
Walker guy.
I think
Walker.
he's just explosive. He had a great game against us in the 2018 World Series.
Great pitcher.
He has a lot of stuff, and
Vandy.
just having all
Vandy
these
boy.
players around him, his ERA will be low. They'll get him runs.
Yeah.
It'll just be a great season. It'll look
Pitcher's
like a great
ballpark.
season for Kershaw. He'll choke in the playoffs again. That's just predictable. But David Price maybe chokes again. He'll be their number one. He'll be their opener.
When I think of Dodgers pitchers, I don't think of Kershaw or Jansen or Price. I think of Walker Buehler, and I completely agree with you, Dickie. Let's move on though. Got MVP now. Last award as we wrap up this second edition of our podcast, boys. Let's go with our AL MVP.
Yep. You might know. I wrote a blog about it. We're talking about the judges' chambers. I'm talking Aaron Judge, best defensive outfielder in MLB.
Oh, come on.
19 defensive run saves in 102 games, tied for the MLB lead.
Who's tied with him?
I don't know. Was it Mookie? No, definitely. It wasn't Mookie. He had more than Mookie. I can't remember who it was, but no, I don't know. I can't remember. I just know he was tied for first defensive runs saved in 102 games, which is just absolutely insanity. We're talking a 40-50 homer guy, a guy that's going to bat 275, 285. A full season, we've seen one full season for him and put up in a WAR over 8. Talking MVP caliber player. Should have been the 2017 AL MVP, but I'm not going to get into that. That's my pick.
Dickie.
I have the most explosive player in baseball. The 13-year-old Rafael Devers. I'm kidding. I have Mike Trout.
Okay.
He's just, you go into a season knowing that Mike Trout will be top 3. He'll, of course, have another great season. I think the Angels could compete for a playoff spot. If everything goes right, they could compete. They could make a move. They could make a move.
They very
So,
well
I
could,
mean,
but-
Mike Trout has another great season. I will also give a secondary pick. Anthony Rendon's teammate. Was that yours, Dylan?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Trout seems to get robbed for MVP every year.
Has there ever been a back-to-back MVP winner?
Different league too. Well, he didn't win MVP.
No, I'm saying, like, is there ever been a player to win 2 MVPs in a row? I don't know if there has.
Probably.
That might be working against
Baseball's
Yeah.
been run forever. But. Look, Anthony Rendon is my MVP pick in the American League. Like, you stick him right behind Trout in that lineup. Where do you go? Who do you pitch to? You can't work around him. He's going to have Trout on base half the time. He's going to rack in 1 million RBIs. He's going to bat over 320. I'm willing to guarantee that. He's going to have another great year like he did last year. And I look at division. He played in the NL East last year, guys.
Pitcher Haven.
Pitcher Haven. That's a pretty good way to put it. He's now in the AL West. Outside of the Astros, name 2 pitchers.
Sean Manaea.
Okay, let's
He's gonna
name 2
Frankie Montas.
facts.
Corey Kluber. Your new Texas Ranger, Corey Kluber.
I mean, overall, the NL East is still far superior in terms of pitching to the AL West, and you play the most games you play a fourth of your schedule against divisional teams. Actually, more than a fourth. You actually play 80 games, so that's half of your schedule is against your division. So, give me Rendon right behind Trout. He'll put up insane numbers. NL MVP, Joe.
In his second year in the bigs, in his first full season in the bigs, give me a little Fernando Tatis Jr.
Okay.
My NL MVP. He put up a 4.2 WAR in just like 84 games.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's pretty good. That's MVP caliber pace right there.
Dylan, you were just talking about back-to-back MVP winners.
Uh-huh.
Joe, you were just talking about how are they going to get around this Dodgers lineup. I have a Dodgers sweep in the NL. I have Cody Bellinger going back-to-back. I think he just tears it up again. He doesn't have Rendon to compete with. He has his own teammate to compete with. Mookie on a contract here may go crazy, but adjusting to that NL,
It's tough. Look at Stanton, went from NL to AL, and I mean he had
strikes
a
out.
Good year, 37.
But
homers,
I have
100
Cody Bellinger. He may be the one that's tied with Judge for defensive runs saved.
Could be.
Does he
Actually,
play
no, Judge
right,
had more.
center? It doesn't matter. His hitting is just amazing. Teams may figure out how to pitch to him, but I think he wins it again. Dylan?
I'm not saying this team will make the playoffs. I'm going to say the only reason they have a chance at the playoffs is because this man is going to carry them and is going to propel them to wins. He plays in the good city of Chicago. He's very flashy. His name is Javier.
Oh, come on. I'm watching.
The minute you said flashy, I'm like, yep.
Javier?
Javier
Little Mago.
Baez.
Come
One of
on.
my
like
favorite
it.
players
I like
in the
it.
entire league.
I'm surprised none of us said Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, I was gonna go with that. I like Tatis.
I like Bellinger.
Premium
I know
position.
somebody that would have picked Ronald Acuna.
Yeah, I did too.
But we're not going to speak about that right now because he will be a guest later before the season starts. We will be having a few guests. You guys were talking a bet earlier that the Astros and Yankees, ALCS, we will have our sports bet expert, Carson O'Connor, on in a few weeks. We will get our predictions out.
Just want to thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to let you know my predictions are going to 100% come true. I am confident